Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy Omega Issue 1. And before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode 184, and that show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show. So if you want to go check out the exclusive comics, that's in the description below, and the episode is annotated. Also, guys, we have about 3 more days for the Like Father Like Daughter issue 4 Kickstarter. If you'd like to go check that out, that is annotated. Now, let's also start talking about Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy Omega issue 1. So this is the epilogue to The Clone Conspiracy, where I felt issue 5 was very rushed and crowded, so I was hoping the epilogue would give a little bit more information from that ending of Clone Conspiracy. So let's see if it did. Now, we do have 3 stories in here. It is a $4.99 book, so it's a bit higher on the price tag. But here are the 3 stories we have. We have Collateral Damage, which is pretty much the epilogue, the actual epilogue, Clone Conspiracy. Then we have Give Us a Wink, which is the Ben Reilly story, and King's Favor, which is the Norman Osborn prelude story. So let's start with the first story, which is the direct aftermath of the Clone Conspiracy, and the longest story. So it's the one that takes up most of the issue, which has the same problems as Clone Conspiracy issue 5. It was so crowded, they tried doing way too many stuff, that you never got the emotional impact of any of the characters they were trying to talk about. A big one was Rhino. They were trying to give you an emotional dialogue between Rhino and Spider-Man, but it never happens because there's so many other stuff they're trying to do. They're trying to do the Gwen story with Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, the Kane story. They're trying to react to Ben Reilly. So there's so many things they're trying to do here that it just doesn't really flow with the narrative, and I feel like I didn't get much from this story because they were trying to do so much, which is weird to say, but yeah, it just felt really cluttered, but also doesn't really progress the story that much either. You don't have to read this part of the story. Alright, so that's the first one. Also, I will say the artwork felt a bit rushed. It's the style of Jim Chung's artwork, which is great, but it just kind of felt rushed the way it was drawn, especially facial expressions. I think Gwen was a good example of that. Here, she just made kind of the same facial expressions throughout, so it just kind of felt rushed. Even though it was a nice style, I didn't get the full effect of it. Alright, now moving on to number 2, the second story, is... Also, I want to mention that they do give a little lizard teaser here, so I guess Lizard's gonna have a storyline with his lizard family, which I guess will be interesting. But yeah, going into the second story, which is the prelude to Ben Reilly's new series, where... Same problems I had with issue 5. I feel like Ben Reilly is not really redeemable here. He doesn't feel, you know, I mean, he does feel like a total villain, but he feels like he's more twirling his mustache type villain. He doesn't really, you don't really feel emotional for that villain. I don't feel attached to Ben Reilly, which is so weird to say, because he has, you know, he's a character with a big background, but this version of Ben Reilly I don't feel attached to. I did like Bagley's artwork, though. I thought it was good. I think it works for the Ben Reilly story. I didn't really care about the doctor character or the scientist character. I didn't think we got enough from her in the past storylines to really care for her. And they focused so much on their relationship, which was weird. But yeah, so the Ben Reilly one was a little bit underwhelming for me. But the best story for me was the third one, where we get to see Kingpin and Peter go head-to-head, and Kingpin offers this, like, this drive, this USB drive, and Peter's like, oh, well, I'm not going to team up with you, and he said, well, it has to do with Norman Osborn. If you want to take him down, you need this. And then Spider-Man's like, yeah, I'll take it. So you see how much lengths he'll go to defeat Norman Osborn. He'll even team up with Kingpin. But it's weird, Stuart Immonen, never gonna say his last name, he has such great pencils, but here I think the action felt off. Again, once it felt rushed. I mean, Spider-Man looked good in it, but then I don't know what they were doing with the Kingpin costume here, or, you know, suit. Like, I get it was like this perfect white, but I didn't like that there was no line work, and this was really affected, like, with this, where his proportions were totally off. So I didn't really love the artwork here. I didn't think this was Stewart's best work. But still, looking forward to where this Norman Osborn story is going to go. So overall, I gave this 3 stars. Do I think it's worth picking up? Yes, if you're a big Spider-Man fan, you have to pick this up. I think you should. It teases stuff, but Do you get a lot from this issue? No, I expected a bit more from the epilogue. I thought this was going to be a bigger issue, and it just kind of feels rushed throughout the whole thing, like I stated before. So the Clone Conspiracy Omega issue 1 gets 3 stars, but let me know in the comments below what you thought of the issue. So this is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also in the description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later.